go hard, all day, all night. On my proud son of people who be ready to fight. Say
What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection NXT Takeover Scott Dawson of the Revival. Now here we do have Scott Dawson without the packaging. I did purchase him and Dash Wilder loose off of eBay. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him off the stand, and then we'll have a closer look at Scott Dawson. So sit tight, everyone. So here we have Scott Dawson posing off the stand. So before we get onto the figure, let's actually have a look at what he comes with. Scott Dawson here does come with one accessory. He does come with one half of the NXT Tag Team titles, and it's the exact same title that the then now forever Jason Jordan came with. So if you are looking for the NXT titles, they do come with the NXT Takeover Revival figures. But other than that, he really doesn't have any other accessories, and we'll get onto a little issues I have with mine in a little bit. So what we're going to do is actually take a closer look at Scott Dawson. So here we have a closer look at Scott Dawson, and I have to say they did a really good job with the face sculpt on Scott Dawson. It's the exact same one that we saw with the Battle Pack Revival, so there really isn't much changes. But I do have the Battle Pack Scott Dawson right here, and you can see they're pretty much the exact same, although I might head swap because this one seems a little too glossy for me, and I kind of like the matte finish, but we'll see how it goes. But overall, still like this figure, but I have one main issue with it. His left arm is incredibly loose, and I know 100% why his arm is this loose. You can see I'm not even doing much, and it's moving around. I have reviewed a couple of WWE figures where, if you notice, they can't go all the way around when they rotate their arm. For some reason, you can't get them past this point. And you can get them up, but you can't get them past this point. The reason for that is, and I've actually opened up one of these torsos, is that the peg is actually sitting too far forward. And what that does is when you're rotating it, you're actually destroying the peg that's in the arm. So there really is no way to fix it. It's just a hit or miss whether your figure is like that. If you have moved the arm around, you can see it gets really, really loose to the point where it's probably not going to hold much longer. So I don't know how much longer I have before this figure actually breaks on me. It's not going to be that the arm falls off. It'll just be that his arm won't be able to support any weight. And it's an issue that has been plaguing quite a few WWE figures. I had my first Spotlight AJ Styles have it, and now I've had this one. Hopefully this doesn't break on me, but if it does, I'll have to track down another one. He is wearing an elbow pad right here that says no flips, just fists, which I really do love that. You can see on the back of his trunks, it does say the Revival. Really loving the emblem right there. And there is a little bit of red paint here, and that's nothing too bad. I can live with that. Does have SW for Scott Dawson. I feel like his right knee pad should have been the bigger knee pad, and this one is actually right. Again, it says no flips, just fist, Dash and Dawson, which I really do like. And then we get his signature flame boots, which look really nice. Really loving the detail on those boots. So overall, arm issues aside, I still love this figure. So what we're going to do now is get Scott Dawson posed next to a few figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Scott Dawson posed next to the basic Dawson and Dash Wilder right here. So you can see how they look when they're posed next to each other, and I really do love the way it looks. Moving Wilder off to the side so we can have a better look at Dawson. Moving on to his articulation, he has a standard elite articulation, and we've already talked about his arm. There's really no way to fix that. I honestly have tried. But speaking of his articulation, his head is on a ball joint. He can look up slightly, can look down, can tilt his head pretty good, which is surprising considering his head sits really low on his neck. Head does rotate left and right, so we do get some pretty good range there. Both arms on a ball joint go out to about that far. right arm does a full 360, left arm can't get it past that point. And the more I do it, you can see that actually his arm is pretty much useless at this point. That's just the way it is. You can see how loose that arm has become. But he does have a bicep swivel, single bend in the elbow, swivel and hinge in the wrist, no issues there. He has an ab crunch which goes back and forward, swivels at the waist, legs go forward, back and out, swivel at the thigh, he is double jointed in the knee, swivels at the boot, has an ankle hinge which goes back and forward, and we have a rocker for ankle pivot, or pivoting ankle, so you can get him in actually good wide poses, but that arm is pretty much useless. You can see it's just flopping. It doesn't even support itself at a neutral position, which is unfortunate. It's holding itself there now, but anyway, what we're going to do now is get Scott Dawson posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review, so sit tight everyone. So here we have Scott Dawson posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I really do like the way this figure came out. I do have an issue with the left arm, and that seems to be a reoccurring issue on a lot of WWE Elite figures. I wonder if it's brought up to Mattel's attention or not, but that is an issue that destroys the left arm. And I really can't pose the left arm anymore, because if I do, I'm so worried that I'm going to shred that peg, and the left arm will be practically useless. But other than that, I really still like the way this figure came out. Along with Dash Wilder, the Revival is a really good set. They are exclusive to Target, however, the NXT Takeover line, I believe, isn't moving forward, so the best place to get these guys is eBay. I actually got Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson loose for about $40 shipped, which comes out to about $20, so it balances itself out. If you can get hold of the Elite Revival, I really recommend you do. They are essential to your collection. If you're Revival fans like I am, you're going to love these figures. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as my WWE videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.